Hey everybody, it's Clay again. So what I'm going to do is I have marked a T at the top of my fabric because I just want all the curtains to look the same according to the pattern. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in like 5 or 6 inches here, and this is the right side of the curtain, which will be the left side when you're looking at hanging up. So I'm just going to bring it to like this. And I'm going to prep the fabric. Now, I used to make blankets at school. Freaking loved it. It was like a workout, you know? Just slamming out as many blankets as I could right before Christmas, you know, making gifts and all that. It was good times, good times. Okay, so I folded out my fabric here just to make it easier to deal with. Get another fold here. Okay. You really don't want your fabric like weighted and pulling on things, because you want to just move right on through. All right. So I have threaded my machine. You got your thread up here. Your bobbin goes in here. It goes over here. Goes through this little dealy bobber right there. Comes down this path. Goes up this path. And important to note, if you don't want your machine to break, don't turn it clockwise. It always goes counterclockwise, all right? So when you do that, your needle goes up and down, and when you do that, let's take this seam ripper. All right, let's hit this lever right here. All right, that makes our presser foot go up. Okay, since I only have one hand, I'm gonna try to avoid sticking the seam ripper like into the table here. That would not really be bad, you know, for the table and the seam ripper. Okay, you got some thread pulled out here. All right, you want to keep a little bit of thread, more than you really need. You know, 5-6 inches. That's plenty. Okay, so now you'll notice. See that little silver thing? It's going back up. Now it's got a little notch in it. So when you go down through this channel and back up through this channel, you loop behind that little silver thing, and then you go down again. Now there's this little turnbuckle right here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Can't zoom in this mode. Oh, you dirty dog. Okay, so there's a little buckle right here. And, you know, I'm going to take this and I'm going to loop it over here. And I'm going to on second thought, I'm not going to even worry about it. So there's a little turnbuckle here, and with this machine, the hole in the needle is front to back. So the thread goes through the front and out the back. And ta-da! All right, now, in order to get the threads to come together, really you just hold on to your thread here and you move it forward again. Okay, and it always, well, if your machine is in good shape, then it's going to thread up. All right, now can't zoom in this mode. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my magnetic guard, and there are marks on every machine right here. This one actually has a grid pattern. It's a pretty good grid pattern, actually. We'll give you a, and this is a Brother model XL2600i. Bought this at a thrift shop. Okay, so if you look in there, you can see the grid and the measurements. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my guard. This is a strong magnet, and I'm going to set this right at that inch mark. Now I don't like this one. I'd rather be using a long side, but it's got these little turnbuckles on it, and you know, Daddy's got a Dremel tool. Daddy can take care of business. All right. So here we go. So I set it up at an inch. I'll go back to you. Back to the beginning. Easy. All right. So we set it about, that's about an inch. I got a measuring device. Let's not cheat. It's about, it's about an inch. My eyeballs are still good. Alright, we're going to get this in place. Now, sewing is a true exercise in manual dexterity. It's a lot of muscle memory as well. Okay, pull the needle up, slide fabric, like 1/8 of an inch in there. Alright, and set the needle. Alright, and we're going to put our presser foot down. Alright, now we're going to go back about 16 inches or so. I'm going to put it in an overhand here, and now hopefully my feeder feet are going to work nicely for me. Check the back side. Looks good, except for right there where I started. And that can be trimmed up. It's actually going to go under the fold anyway. Alright. And readjust. Now, when I was building blankets, I was making them out of heavy stuff. And it was a workout, you know. I'd build a blanket just like as quick as I could. It would only take me like 15 minutes or so, something like that. But I would need to take a few minutes to myself. Rest my arms. Because I was moving fast. It was fun. I felt like, you know, making little, you know, like the little hearts that you get at the Care Bear place. I felt like just tossing one of them in there. That's what I felt like I was doing when I was making blankets. I mean, who doesn't love a cuddly blanket? Let's see, gotta take your wins where you can. And celebrate the small victories in life. I see this drifting a little bit here. Okay. Now on the top side, it's looking like a string of pearls. Now, what that means is that my machine is off a little bit, okay? Because what you've got is you've got the needle and the thread coming in, and every time it comes in, it makes a knot, all right? And when it goes back out again, it pulls that bottom thread up through the top of up to the top of the fabric, which in this case this is the top. All right, so if you've got a good seam on your bottom side, and or good threads on your bottom side, but on the top side you got little, you know, with every stitch you've got a little pearl. What that means is that your bottom bobbin is too loose, and too much is getting pulled up to the top to complete that stitch. So So I'm having to actually reach back here on the back side and kind of pull this on through. That might actually be part of the problem with that string of pearls, the action that's going on. I'm not too worried about it, really. It's on the back side. That's why we're building it the way we are. in case things like that happen. If you have snarls on the other side, this right here is your best friend. This is a seam ripper. This is, oh God, my nails are nasty. I am so sorry. I've been really busy today. So we've got a, right here, this little nubbin here. This is dull. This is sharp. I have gacked myself before. It's not fun. This little crook in here is also very sharp. All right, so the idea is that the cloth, this goes inside the seam that you want to rip, and you just slide it through like that. All right, and it's a seam rip. Takes care of the job real good. Clean it up. Go back to the beginning, as he said. Fait accompli. So let's take a look at the job. Yeah, we've got some unfortunate stitches here. This is not. It's not that right. And it's not that straight. But you know, neither am I. Let's move on. So now we are going to start on the bottom side. Same thing to our Did you hear that snap? Let's have a little talk about the fabric here for a second. So what I've got here, you can hear that snap. It's real crisp. This fabric doesn't give. Super easy to sew with because it doesn't give. If fabric stretches, this one might stretch more than this one. If you hold it just the wrong way, you get torsion in the fabric and in the stitches, and it just doesn't look good. Kind of bunches up your stitches. These things are not going to be perfect. But right now, we've got shears in the living room, and it's Arizona. believe me, people, it is hucking, fought, and just gonna get worse. Okay. Now, let's take a look at what we got here. So, looking at it, can you see that my threads here have come undone? Because I've got 2 threads now. Right? So, let's set this in my lap. Alright, so I'm just gonna hold this down with my finger, and I'm gonna roll it forward counterclockwise, and done. Okay, so what I did is I measured where I need to keep that top fold of fabric to have that 1-inch seam. Because I kind of haphazardly on the first half. Alright, set the needle. On the record, set the needle. Set the needle on the record and dance. Just so, anybody in the Phoenix area, if you'd like to sponsor me with any kind of sewing machine, I would gladly accept it. Thank you. Like and subscribe, folks. cattywampus on it right there. These feet aren't working. See, they're supposed to walk underneath the fabric, and I just don't think they're walking. Not like these boots. They're made for walking. That is just what I'll do. Because one of these days, these boots are going to walk all over. Ding, 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 ding. Nancy Sinatra, folks. She was kind of awesome. Huh, too. For a Grammy. She was a Grammy then. My back hurts. Now the other side seems done. Take a look at this one. Broken, broken, bent, broken, broken. Oh yeah, I really screwed up there. But, you know, it's kind of urgent that we get these curtains up. Because, like I said, it's hot. So I'm just going to move on. So this being the bottom. And this being the top. Yeah, that's the top. Next video, I'm going to do the top seam and the bottom seam, and then I'll make another video making the tabs and then another video with the final construction and showing off the finished, completed work. So thanks for joining me today. Oh, that's just a half hour long. Right on. Thanks for joining me today. Come back for more. Catch up on the other videos. We're going from start to finish here. Go with measurements. Piece of fabric. Sewing machine. And do your thing. Like I said in a previous video, Michaels now has Joann's inside Michaels. And there's a joke there. I'm going to leave it lie. But they've got a great selection of fabrics. I was in there the other day. I saw all kinds of character linens and t-shirt material. You know that you can do anything you want. I think I'm going to show you guys what I know how to make. And if you want to learn how to make those things, I'd be glad to teach you. Like and subscribe. Comment. I would love to hear from you. Love to hear what you want me to teach you. If I don't know how to do it, I'm going to learn it. It's what I tell my kids, and you know what? It takes a village, people. It doesn't take the village people, but it takes a village, all right? Never stop learning. Your brain stagnates when you stop learning. I'm 56. I'm learning all kinds of new stuff. You can do this. You can make yourself curtains. It's not that hard. Sewing machines, they're not that complicated. I guess that's all, folks. Look out for yourselves out there, and please come back for more. There's plenty of silliness that I have inside of me, and I'd love to share it with you. I like to teach people. Remember, it takes a village. If you're a dad, be a dad. If you're a mom, be a mom to as many people as you can. Make every day your goal of being the best person that you can be. All right? Much love. Thanks for watching. Tune in for more.